Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Carrie Collins and this is week 23 of Life Renovations. Today we're going to talk about something really important as you're working towards your life's purpose, making money. And we've talked already about wealth. I'm not going to talk about what money means. I'm going to talk about how to get it in relation to your purpose in a very practical way. Now, money is a funny thing. It's totally woven into our existence. We need it to sustain our lives, to grow, to change, and to experience the things that make us happy. Without money, we wouldn't be able to pay for the necessities of life, food, shelter, and clothing. More than that, we need a certain supply to meet our demands. Now, remember a few weeks ago when we talked about wealth? You can be secure living in a cinder block house, but the quality you demand might be higher. So you need more money, and then you find a way to get it. Now, your demand for a higher quality of life determines how much money you actually need to make. The more you desire that quality of life, the harder you'll work for the amount of money you need. Now, there are plenty of people out there who think it would be really cool to have a Maserati, but they only really desire a Honda. They're not going to work hard to buy the big fancy car. The people who desire a Maserati with all their being are going to work hard and at higher standards to make sure they can buy that fancy car. It's just a matter of determining the level of quality you need in your life. In the same way, when you're working in harmony with your life's purpose, the supply will meet the demand. You'll find the budget that will make it possible for you to grow. Now, this is the law of abundance. The supply will grow to meet the demand, just like a tree gets the amount of nutrients it needs from the ground, no more and no less. So then if the supply meets the demand, how does anyone actually get rich? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Making money is dependent on one thing, on service. Well, service is the act of helping somebody or doing work for someone. Everyone in the world, even the biggest CEOs and the billionaires, are doing work for someone else, and the exchange is a financial exchange. Making money is a give and a take. It's a yin and yang experience. Giving a service in exchange for money is an energy transfer. It's a visual representation of the flow of chi between two people. When you give something to someone else, a service, a product, or knowledge, you're yang, you're giving. Remember that everything in its excess becomes opposite. When you've given enough, you become yin and you receive.
The audio conference will now begin.
The person who has received all that you have to give them becomes yang and must give in exchange. If one side doesn't uphold the end of the bargain, then the balance is uneven and non-harmonious. Now remember, the universe strives for harmony. We receive in proportion to what we give. People who respect this flow of energy and who give in proportion to what we give are people that we call our friends. For instance, you help your friend move and they buy you a pizza, or you give advice and they listen. We keep friends because the balance is harmonious between yin and yang. There's a proper give and take. And the same is true with our bosses, our coworkers, and our clients. We make money by helping. My good friend and mentor, Barry Moltz, tells me all the time that people buy when they're in pain. Now, pain comes in many different forms and degrees. In my job as a Kihara trainer, it's pretty obvious. If someone has severe back pain and it's worth my fee to have it fixed, then they're going to pay me to be out of pain. And that's a pretty clear example. But when I taught piano lessons, it was a little different. People don't sign up for piano lessons because they have a backache. They sign up for piano lessons because they feel like they're missing something creative in their lives. Think about why you buy anything at all. I mean, we buy food because hunger is painful. We buy makeup and pretty clothes because it makes us feel pretty, and feeling not so pretty is painful. And we buy a car because walking 20 miles to work is painful. Everything that we pay money for is priced according to our demand for it, and that level of demand is based on how that product will get us out of pain. Your ability to help someone get out of pain on any level determines your ability to make money doing your life's purpose. Now, I think this is kind of beautiful, but it's also one of the hardest things about making money living a purposeful life. We all have talents that come easily. I can teach just about anything I fully understand to just about anyone. It's part of my talent, and I love it. I love it so much, in fact, that I'm usually giving somebody a lesson on something at any given point on any day. I just give it away for free because it doesn't even cross my mind that someone would pay for something that not only comes so easily to me, but that I really love doing it. When I started my career as a pianist, I felt like charging someone to teach them piano lessons was ridiculous. I had no idea what to charge, and any number I came up with seemed completely overpriced. Playing piano for a show was even worse because it was something that I would have paid somebody to let me do. I mean, are you kidding me? You're gonna pay me to do something that's like crazy fun? It was hard to demand a good rate for yourself when you do it for free. But the fact was, I had a market value, and the people who needed me were willing to pay me for it. And we ran into the same problems when I started doing body work. I was helping people who were in so much pain that they could barely move. After the session, they would get up and like skip out of the door with a big smile on their face. Yet, I felt really guilty for charging the rates I was charging.
Participants are muted.
One day, I realized that I wasn't charging them for the work. I wasn't. I was charging them for my time. The healing was free. I charged them for my time because my time was extremely valuable. And since then, I have no problem charging what I need to thrive as a practitioner because it allows me to stay in business. And when I'm in business, I can help more people. The more people who I can help get out of pain, the more money I will make doing something that makes me incredibly happy. Now, you have the ability to do the same thing while following your own life's purpose. Now, it's easy for me to correlate my careers with the word service because I work in the service industry. When you sell products or when you work in a corporate setting, it's the same philosophy. First, you need to determine who your clients are. Sometimes it's not exactly what you think. Your clients are the people who you are helping. Now, sometimes it's obvious, like the person who buys your product, but sometimes it's not so obvious, like your boss or your coworkers. Your clients are all the people who make money because of the work that you're doing. Now that you know your life's purpose, your only job is to figure out how to use it to help the highest amount of people possible. Those people will reciprocate and reward you accordingly. Any pursuit that doesn't help other people make money or get out of pain is just destined to fail. The best thing you can do is to be of service because what benefits one person has to benefit everyone. Your life's purpose, it's not a destination, it's not a goal, it's what you're doing right now. And when you find that you actually can use your innate talents to help other people, you find pleasure in the journey. People sometimes ask me what I do for fun, and I can honestly answer, I work. There are plenty of things I enjoy doing, like I like going to jazz clubs, I like dancing, I like learning languages and traveling and making music. But honestly, I'm constantly thinking about my job because it's my favorite thing to do. I love it. I love every aspect of it. We hear people talk all the time about how to get out of the rat race of corporate life. But there's nothing wrong with corporate life or being an entrepreneur or not working at all if you're fulfilling your life's purpose. When you're working on your goals instead of working towards them, you'll enjoy the rat race. You'll enjoy every single bit of it. When your goals are generous, they're full of strength and vitality. They grow and change and thrive. They're alive. When people have selfish goals, the goals just disintegrate and die. People who are selfish have the ability to make money. That's true. But they're not happy when they do it. Their conscience is full of guilt because they know that the amount of money they're receiving is not in proportion to what they're giving. Now, this causes an inharmonious state because we know that anything in excess becomes its opposite. Receiving too much forces you to give out in the same proportion. But when you're unable to help others in the way that they help you, the universe will take from you in other ways. The first thing it goes for? Health and happiness. Now, on the other side of the coin, if you find yourself unhappy or unhealthy, it's possible that you're not giving enough of yourself. Now, you don't do this through financial giving. You do it by being of service. Your greatest success will come when you realize that it's just as essential to give as to get. Next, you have to realize what it is that you actually have to give. Now, we all have something to give. We all have something that makes the world a better place. All too often, we look at our life's purpose and we think of the things that we've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to own a home in Italy. Now, that's a great goal. Does it help anyone? How does having a home in Italy make the world a better place? It doesn't really. but I want that house someday, and someday I'll have it. But that's a goal. The house is a transaction. It's a signed contract that may happen on one day at one point in time. But today, I need to think about what it is that I have to give with that goal in mind. The house in Italy becomes part of my demand for quality in my life. The supply will meet the demand at some point, but only if I'm able to be of service to enough people to fund that goal. My point is, your life's purpose is not a goal to be reached. It's a daily practice. And for the past 6 months, you've been working on it, defining your life's purpose. You've fine-tuned it, you've concentrated on it, you've dissected it from top to bottom. And for the past 2 months, you've started actively working on it. Your life's purpose is no longer something you will accomplish one day in the future. It's not something that you're gonna figure out at some point. You've not only figured it out, you're in the process right now of living your life's purpose. So what is it? How are you active in your life's purpose right now? Realize that your life's purpose is a process and not a goal. So what is it that you're giving now? How can you use these tools to help even more people right now? The more people you get, or the more you give to people, the more you'll receive back. In the beginning, it might not be a lot. You'll find that once somebody feels the need to pay you for your services, though, you'll be more confident to actually give more. And when you're confident that your services have value, you'll be able to ask for financial compensation. The more you get, the more you'll be able to give. You can't be completely happy if you're only working on your life's purpose on the weekends. Even if you're able to do a job fulfilling your purpose part-time, you can only help 50% of your capacity. It's not complete, but 50% is better than 2 days a week or 1 day a week. As you give more, the demand grows to the point of being able to work full-time and the ability to reach 100% of your capacity. You're able to start making a living lining yourself up with your life's purpose, and as you do, you can start living your dreams as a full-time job. Now, the only way to get to this point is to think. It seems simple, but don't let anyone else do your thinking for you. Think long and hard about how your talents will make money for other people. The average person in our society doesn't do any deep thinking. He just takes orders and does exactly what he's told. We're running into this problem right now with our government. Large groups of people are allowing for a few people to make decisions for them instead of doing deep thinking on their own to get out of a problem. And creative thinking requires attention and concentration. You have to be willing to step outside of what society is telling you and think for yourself. Concentrate only on your successes and you'll naturally attract more success. If you concentrate on loss, you're just going to lose more. Now, for this entire course, you've been watching me and staring at my posters on the back of the wall. You probably wondered what's going on back there. Now, I call this my success wall. It's covered in posters of successful workshops that I've hosted, and also with maps and pictures of various places that I've gone while fulfilling my purpose. It's a constant reminder of the things that I've accomplished while staying true to my dreams. And because I keep these successes visible, I know that I can continue to be successful in the future and create even more. Your ability to succeed is tied into your ability to think strong, powerful thoughts for yourself and to not let others get in the way. When we think for ourselves and stay true to a purpose that makes the world a better place, we are building ourselves up as spiritual beings. Now, all through this course, I've avoided all references to religion, and I want to be really clear that I'm not talking about religious spirituality. I'm talking about connecting to your spirit as part of your being. The essence of your consciousness is your spirit. It is the substance of your mind and the reality underlying all of your thoughts. The ultimate fact, your real truth, it comes from your spirit. Our conscious and subconscious minds challenge our spirit by doubting and rationalizing and trying to protect us. And sometimes it's a really good thing, but sometimes it gets in the way. Your spirit knows the real truth, and you find it as a burst of insight when you go into the silence. When you concentrate on helping the most people, your spirit will help you find the real thing or the true idea that will make the most positive effect in your world. This is the essence of all achievement. Everything that works in the world, everything is a result of someone's burst of insight at some point in time. When you feel like you're short of thoughts or good ideas, you just need to meditate. Just enter the silence and listen and wait for the million of ideas, millions that are brewing all around you, and they just reach you in a burst of insight. If you're courageous enough to put that idea into practical use, you can become successful. Real success is figuring out that big idea, the thing that will make you immortal. People are remembered for doing things that help the most amount of people, for providing a tool or a service that changed the world for the better. What's your purpose? What will you be remembered for? Use the creative power of your thoughts. Build up an idealistic pattern for what you hope to materialize. Visualize it, add to it, change it, improve it, build it with love and emotions. Create an outline to get you to your finished product. Share it with the world and watch it make other people happy. The first step, though, is the use of the creative power of thought, and that's a spiritual practice, an intensely practical spiritual practice. Spirituality does not have to be something that you don't understand. It doesn't have to be mystical. When you're spiritual, you're in touch with your innermost mind. And in this way, being spiritual is like the most practical thing that you can do. Now, over the last 6 months, I've been building you from the bottom to the top. We've focused on your physical body. You've been moving more, you've been stretching, you've even challenged yourself to try some new things. We've worked on your mental body too. You've been learning a lot about what you want in life and how to get it. You've been learning why your body works the way it does. You've learned how to eat in a smart way. You've learned how to control your thoughts. You even learned how to meditate, focus, and concentrate. We've worked some on your emotions too. Like you've learned how to turn sadness into happiness, how to turn fear into courage, and even failure into success. And now we're working on your spiritual body. It's time to really tap into who you are as a spirit and to start listening to what you want from that deep level. When you're functioning from practical spirituality, you'll find it easy to have a purposeful life with health and happiness. Now, for your journaling and meditation and exercise this week, I want you to continue the process of SOS in your morning routine. That's sit, eat, write, and stretch every day. When you sit and meditate, though, I want you to concentrate on the fact that you're not a body with a spirit, but a spirit with a body. Your spirit is incapable of being satisfied with anything that's not spiritual. Material goods mean nothing to your spirit. Money has no value except to bring about harmony in our lives. Sufficient supply is necessary for harmonious conditions, so if you're lacking, realize that the soul of money is just service. If you're lacking in wealth, happiness, or health, focus on the fact that your spirit is screaming at you to help others through your life's purpose in a very practical way. Now continue with your morning routine, have a light breakfast, write 3 pages in your journal, followed by a reverse to-do list, and then of course, stretch and get up and move. And for your guided journaling, I want you to think about the following questions. This is going to help guide you a little bit this week. What do you want, or what do you do now, right now, either in your workplace or outside of it, that's either helping somebody to get out of pain, making him or her happier, or making them money? Who are your clients? Who are the people who you can directly affect if you were using your talents in the best way? What can you do that would help them do their jobs even better? How could you help these people make more money? What do you have to give? How much time are you spending on work that's harmonious with your life's purpose? And how much money would you need to do that work full time and still reach your demand for quality? What's the amount of money that you need to live your current lifestyle? So in your journal this week, I want you, when you're sitting and writing in the mornings, I want you to spend time brainstorming on how you can accomplish working on your life's purpose 100% of the time. Really think about all the options, every single thing you can think of, whether in your current job, your new job, or in your own business. But remember that success comes when you help the most amount of people. And just brainstorm. I think you'll find some really cool answers. Now next week is our very last week, which is crazy. So I can't believe it already. So I'd like you to spend some time this week thinking about the blueprint you want to create for your life. And this week I want you to really focus specifically with your diet. What foods from this whole challenge, this whole process, did you love, and what challenges were no good for you? I want you to create a shopping list based off of what you learned in each week. And I've made a list of foods that I've encouraged you to try. And I want you to highlight or circle the foods that you really would like to keep in your diet. Some of the things are like olive oil and yogurt and rice milk and eggs and different types of vegetables, but also some things that are a little bit different, like quinoa or millet, green drinks, seaweed, miso soup, sauerkraut, kombucha tea, those kind of things. That I want you to kind of make a list of them and then have that grocery list on a regular basis so that you can keep these healthy foods around you at all times. And then I have a handful of rules. And these rules are all of your diet rules that we've come up with. And you know how I feel about rules. So you can take them or leave them. You can pick the ones you like. You can throw out the ones you don't. You can break the rules. I don't care. But these are the rules that have come up in your diet challenges through the course of this class. 1, never say should or shouldn't when buying food or deciding what to eat. Just don't. Number 2, don't buy anything with more than 3 ingredients that you can't buy at the store. 3, don't eat fake foods. Anything fat-free or sugar-free is completely fake. Anything that's made with a million chemicals, just don't even eat them. Number 4, don't try to trick your body. A tofu hot dog is not a hot dog. Tofurkey is not turkey. You can eat tofu if you like it, but don't pretend that it's something that it's not. Don't trick your body. Number 5, try to stay under 32 grams of sugar per day. Now that's sometimes hard. So if you break the rules, who cares? But try to stick to 32 grams. Number 6, shop on the perimeter of the grocery store and walk through the aisles without your cart, only carrying the things that you need to pick up when you're in the aisles. Number 7, eat foods that grow close to the ground. Eat them with brown rice. Foods that are extremely yin or yang cause cravings, like too much sugar, too much red meat, cause cravings in the other direction. When you feel inflamed, avoid these things: dairy, gluten, nightshades, and sugar. Drink water as your very first choice. Coffee or tea when you need a pick-me-up, and a small amount of wine to wind down if you don't have a problem with alcohol. Number 10, cut your meat in half, double your vegetables. Number 11, think before you add any condiments. Is there a better option? How does the food taste without it? Do you really need it? Number 12, keep fresh fruit visible in your house. Look, fruit. Keep it around where you can eat it. It's good for you. Number 13, order exactly what you want when you're at the restaurant. Don't be afraid to ask for substitutions. They're used to it. Number 14, keep staple foods on you in your briefcase, in your purse, and always prepare for traveling. Make sure that you have good options when you travel. Number 15, eat on a regular schedule so that you can avoid cravings. And lastly, number 16, eat as much as possible with friends and family. Eating is fun, it's creative, and it's a social event. So you make the most of it and have fun with it. So that's it for today. It's kind of a short lesson. I think it's a good one though. I hope you're all feeling inspired to figure out how to make your life's purpose your full-time job. Someone told me once that work was sometimes a place that you go, not a thing that you do. And I thought that was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard. If that's the way you think about your job, it's time to make a pretty drastic change. If you don't have a spiritual purpose in your life, for those 40 hours a week that you're working, you're not going to have time to do the great things that you're meant to do in this lifetime. So leave the peon work to the peons. It's time for you to get to work and do purposeful work that helps other people. All right? So that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and feel free to throw them into the chat. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and log off, and I'll see you guys next Thursday for our last week.